Hello, so as it was World Book Day earlier this week, it is World Book Day as I filmed this video. I thought this week I'd do a recent reads video for you. So I've just picked out some books which I've read recently and I'm gonna kind of tell you my thoughts. Let's get book number one. I'm gonna do these in order of the ones I read most recently I'll do last. So the first ones, it might take a little while for me to refresh my memory because I haven't looked back over them or anything, so I'm just going from memory. So I'm going to grab the first book now. So this is the first book I have. This is Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. I really enjoyed this book. I've rated them like star-wise in my bullet journal, so I'm going to grab that so I can tell you what I rated it. So I rated Finding Audrey 3.5 stars in my bullet journal, which is kind of middle of the line. So I really did like this book. The main character, as you might have guessed, is called Audrey. Now, Audrey has kind of a lot of mental health issues. She suffers from panic attacks and she's very, very anxious. She's homeschooled because of her mental health issues, which means she spends not a lot of time around other people. She wears glasses all of the time, sunglasses, to hide her eyes because she doesn't like people to look into her eyes or to make eye contact with people. This book is really great. It's about kind of Audrey finding herself again after all of her kind of mental health problems. There's also a bit of a romance going on. So Finding Audrey talks a lot about family dynamics. It's kind of everything that goes on with her family and how they are coping with her mental health problems as well as their own problems and kind of just life as a teen in general. Really enjoyed reading this book. It is written in Audrey's perspective. There are also some bits where she is filming a video and it kind of does it kind of what's being said to the camera, which is also quite cool. It's really good. I really enjoyed this book. It's quite an easy read and it's very eye-opening as well about kind of mental health problems and stuff. I'm not going to say much more on that because I don't want to give much away, but it's a very good book. Next, I've got this book. This is A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Barnard, and I really love this book. I've written a full blog review on it, so if you go on chloeharris.com you'll be able to find a full review, which obviously you might want. But this is a really good book. I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars in my bullet journal and I really enjoyed it. It is about a girl called Steffi who does not speak. She is a select mute due to kind of social anxieties. And then a boy called Reese who is deaf and he can't hear and she doesn't speak. And they kind of connect through that because they start communicating through sign language. As you might be able to guess, they fall in love. I'm not giving too much away because that's pretty early on. And it's about how their relationship develops, especially as kind of she's not had many close relationships because of her mental health problems. And it's just a really lovely book. It's a really nice story. I didn't really love the ending of it. I kind of wanted something more, but I'm not sure what I wanted. But I loved the book nonetheless. I thought it was great. The characters developed really well. It touches on things like sex. I quite like reading books where sex is spoke about in kind of a realistic way in young adult books because I think that's a good way to kind of teach people. It's about the relationship they develop alongside their kind of their family relationships and all of that stuff, and this is a very good book. There is a full review on my blog, so go over and have a little read. Next I've got this, and I did mention this in my monthly favourites, but I said I'd do a recent read so I'd go more into detail, so I try not to give too much away, but this is After You by Jojo Moyes. This is the second part of Me Before You, which there was also a film of. I read Me Before You, but I think I actually preferred this book. I think this one was a bit more unexpected, I'd say. There was a lot that happened in this story which I didn't expect. A lot of new characters come into it, which I like. And I also like that still kind of Will's memory lives lives on through the book. If you read it, you understand what I mean, but he still spoke about a lot, and is kind of like some aspects where Louisa will remember him and she'll like picture what he would say and stuff. So I thought that was quite a nice way to do it. As you can see, it's quite a long book and it's really good. It's really well written, it's very gripping. There is a part of it which I think is quite unrealistic, but it touches on things like dealing with grief, and obviously, because the book is about Louisa's grief, family dynamics again, meeting new partners, trust, and things like blackmail and social media and teenagers are a big theme as well. I'm not going to give too much away, but basically this happens very early on, so I'll say this. A girl knocks at Louisa's door and she is Will's daughter that he never knew he had. And her mum is basically a bit of a dick and doesn't really care that much about her. So Louisa kind of helps her out and some stuff happens and it's very good. It's really well written, but there is a part which I thought was quite unrealistic. It also deals with things like abusive relationships and taking advantage of people and power, money, that kind of thing. It's very good, very well written. I love Lily's character. I think she brought in a nice new aspect to the book. I think her character was very, very real, and she was just, I just really like how she was written. I think she was really well written, and a lot of the other new characters I liked as well. And I also rated that one 4 stars, by the way. The last book I got is this one. This was the most recent book I've read. This is Nina Is Not Okay by Shapi Kosandi. I'm not sure how you say that. I got this book as part of the Banging Book Club because I want to do it. I've been listening to their podcast, so I've read this book. This book is very, very intense. It's about a teenager called Nina. She's 17, 18, and she basically has a bit of a alcohol problem. She drinks quite a lot. Her kind of family go away and leave her with a friend, and stuff happens. There's parts she doesn't remember because she is drinking, and it's kind of about her picking herself back up and dealing with kind of traumatic events. It is very intense, this book, I found. Alex's character made me feel sick. I also really disliked Zoe's character. I thought Zoe's character was a complete bitch, but she was being manipulated. So it deals with things like alcohol abuse, taking advantage, friendships, manipulating, romance. It also talks about bisexuality. Nina is bisexual and she kind of has her first kind of experiences with a girl. It's about her sorting her life out and kind of coming back to who she is, not who she is when she's drinking. A lot more happens than just her getting drunk. It's very intense. The second half of the book I read in like one night because it was just so much and I just couldn't believe what was happening. I really enjoyed it. The book's like, there are blanks in the book where it's written in Nina's perspective and she doesn't remember parts from when she's been drinking. So at the start some kind of quite significant things happen and she doesn't realise. And it's about her kind of coming around to that and kind of people who are taking advantage of her and how she's dealing with that, and also her taking advantage of other people. It's very good. I wouldn't say it's good, I'd say it's eye-opening. I felt a bit queasy when I finished it because it's intense, but I enjoyed reading it nonetheless. It's very eye-opening, so I'd recommend giving that a read. But I will say, kind of, if you've had problems with alcohol or abusive relationships or anything, maybe don't, or just a bit of a trigger warning. It does kind of talk a lot about those things. But a good book, well written, So yeah, and that's all I'm going to talk about. I'm going to do a full blog post which will go up probably before this video. I will link in the down bar of all the books I've read so far this year. Those are just the last 4. I've read a few more, so that will be in a blog post. But I'm gonna go now, and I will see you very soon. Please like the video if you liked the video. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought. Sorry if my descriptions were a bit rubbish. I find it hard to kind of explain what happens in the book and get a balance between not giving too much away. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this nonetheless, and I will see you next week. Please subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you. Bye.